Ever wonder why people do what they do? Why some folks eat with chopsticks and others with forks? Or why some countries are democracies while others are ruled by kings or dictators? It's all about culture, society and politics. These three things are intertwined like strands in a rope. Understanding them helps us make sense of the world around us, and maybe, just maybe, it helps us understand ourselves a little better too. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're about to dive into the fascinating world of culture, society and politics. Don't worry, I promise to keep it as painless as possible. No long words or boring lectures here, just straight talk about how these big ideas shape our lives.
Let's start with culture. What is it? It's a question that might seem simple, but the answer is incredibly rich and complex. Culture is the total way of life of a group of people. It's the sum of their experiences, practices, and expressions. Think of it as the personality of a group, a unique fingerprint that defines them. It's their beliefs, values, customs, traditions, art, music, food, and everything in between. These elements come together to create a rich tapestry of life. Culture is passed down from generation to generation. It's learned, not inherited. This transmission of knowledge and practices is what keeps culture alive. You pick it up from your family, friends, community, and the media. Every interaction and experience adds another layer to your cultural understanding. Culture isn't static. It's always changing and evolving. It adapts to new circumstances and incorporates new ideas. New ideas and influences are constantly shaping it. This dynamic nature makes culture a living, breathing entity. Think of culture as a giant toolbox filled with all sorts of tools and gadgets that people use to navigate life. It's filled with all sorts of tools and gadgets that people use to navigate life. These tools help us solve problems and celebrate our identities. These tools include language, religion, values, norms, and customs. They are the building blocks of our social world. They help us communicate, make sense of the world, and interact with each other. In essence, culture is the glue that binds us together, making us who we are.
Now let's talk about society. A society is a group of people who live in a particular place and share a common culture. It's the structure that holds us all together. Think of it as the human anthill. Societies have rules and institutions that govern how people behave. These rules can be formal, like laws, or informal, like social norms. They help maintain order and prevent chaos. Societies are complex and dynamic. They're constantly changing in response to internal and external pressures. Technology, migration, and globalization are just a few factors that can shake things up.
Last but not least, let's talk about politics. Politics is the process by which groups of people make decisions. It's about who gets what, when, and how. Politics is everywhere, from the halls of government to your own living room. Politics is about power, the ability to influence others and make decisions that affect their lives. It's about resolving conflict, negotiating compromise, and finding ways to live together relatively peacefully. Politics can be messy, frustrating, and downright confusing. But it's also how we create a more just and equitable world. It's how we address issues like poverty, healthcare, education, and climate change.
Section 5. Culture's influence on the social fabric. So, how do these three big ideas, culture, society, and politics, all fit together? Well, they're like ingredients in a cake. You can't have one without the others. Culture is the foundation upon which society is built. It provides the shared values, beliefs, and norms that allow people to live together and cooperate. Culture shapes our understanding of right and wrong, good and bad, acceptable and unacceptable. Think of it this way. Culture is the software that runs the hardware of society. It tells us how to behave, what to believe, and how to interact with each other.
Section 6. How society shapes the political landscape. Society, in turn, shapes the political landscape. The values, beliefs, and norms of a society are reflected in its laws, institutions, and political processes. For example, a society that values individual liberty is likely to have a democratic system of government. A society that values social harmony and order may be more likely to have a more authoritarian system. Politics, then, is the arena where we battle it out over how to organize society and whose values will prevail. It's the process by which we try to translate our cultural values into concrete policies and laws.
Section 7. A historical perspective, the French Revolution and the power of ideas. Let's look at a historical example to see how this all plays out in the real world. The French Revolution is a prime case study. The French Revolution was a tumultuous period of radical social and political upheaval in France. It fundamentally changed the course of French history. It was sparked by a complex interplay of factors, including economic inequality, political oppression, and new Enlightenment ideas about liberty, equality, and popular sovereignty. These ideas were revolutionary and challenged the status quo. Culture played a pivotal role in fueling the revolution. The arts, literature, and public discourse were all arenas where revolutionary ideas were debated and disseminated. Enlightenment thinkers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Montesquieu challenged the authority of the monarchy and argued for a more just and equitable society. Their writings inspired many to question the existing social and political order. Their ideas resonated with the French people, who were fed up with the extravagance and oppression of the ruling class. The common people began to see the possibility of a different, fairer society. The French Revolution shows us how powerful ideas can be. Revolutionary pamphlets and propaganda played a crucial role in spreading these ideas and mobilizing the masses. When people's core values and beliefs are threatened, they're more likely to take action to change their society. The French Revolution is a testament to the transformative power of ideas and the human spirit's quest for justice and equality.
Section 8. A modern example. Social media and the shifting tides of politics. Let's fast forward to the 21st century, where the digital revolution has transformed our daily lives. Social media has become a powerful force in shaping both culture and politics, influencing opinions and actions on a global scale. It's changed how we communicate, consume information, and even how we vote, making political engagement more accessible than ever before. Social media platforms have become breeding grounds for new social movements and political activism, giving a voice to the voiceless. The Arab Spring, for example, was a series of pro-democracy uprisings that swept across the Arab world in the early 2010s, driven by social media. Social media played a crucial role in these uprisings, allowing activists to organize protests, share information, and bypass traditional media censorship, which was often restrictive. However, social media has also been used to spread misinformation and influence elections, showing its double-edged nature. The 2016 US presidential election saw widespread use of social media to spread fake news and propaganda, impacting public perception and voter behavior. This highlights the importance of media literacy and critical thinking in the digital age, as we navigate an ever-evolving landscape of information and misinformation.
Section 9. Connecting the dots, culture, society and politics in action. As you can see, culture, society and politics are inextricably linked. They influence each other in a complex and ever-evolving dance. Understanding these connections is essential for navigating the complexities of the modern world. Think of it like a three-legged stool. Culture, society and politics each represent one leg. Remove one leg and the whole thing collapses. When these three elements are in balance, society can function smoothly. But when they're out of whack, things can get messy. Think about it. Wars, revolutions, and social unrest often happen when there's a clash of cultures, a breakdown of social norms, or a failure of political systems.
Section 10. The impact on you. It's personal. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. But why should you care about all of this? Because culture, society, and politics affect your life every single day. They shape your identity, your opportunities, and your future. The culture you grow up in shapes your values, beliefs, and worldview. It influences your choices about everything from what you eat to who you marry. Your society provides you with a set of rules and institutions that govern your behavior. And politics determines how resources are allocated, how conflicts are resolved, and what rights and freedoms you enjoy. Understanding these forces can help you make sense of the world around you and become a more informed and engaged citizen.
Section 11, wrapping it up, a complex tapestry. So there you have it, a crash course in culture, society and politics. It's a complex and ever-changing tapestry, but by understanding the basic threads, we can begin to unravel its mysteries and appreciate its beauty. Remember, these three concepts are not static. They're constantly evolving and influencing each other. By staying informed, engaging in critical thinking and participating in our communities, we can help shape a better future for ourselves and generations to come. That's all, folks. Go out there and make a difference. And remember, don't just be a spectator in the human drama. Be an active participant. The world needs your voice, your passion, and your ideas. Here are some questions to ponder. How does culture influence your daily life? In what ways do you see society shaping political decisions? Can you think of an example where politics influenced cultural norms? How has social media changed your perspective on politics? What role do you think individuals play in shaping society?